Let's see what happens here. Okay, so you guys, we're on example number 1. All right. Okay, so 1's weird because we're gonna write it all drug out, and you're gonna have to write it like 10 times to get it done, right? 1 takes a while, but I want you guys to write down each of these. How many guys have your parents help you with math? And then they're like, I don't know how to do this. Okay, so this is where you do this and show them, because they'll look at this example and they'll either go, yeah, I don't know how to do this, or they'll go, oh shoot, I remember this. And then they can help you out, okay? All right, so you guys looking at this 1. First thing we have to do is identify our problem. So what's up? What are we looking for?
How many gigameters is 8.23 I think that's
Equals, we don't know how many GMs, right? Okay, good to go? Did you guys write that down? How do we normally write it down? This is one I don't like. I like, hide it. 8.23 times 10 to the 0 equals how many GMs? TMs, right? Okay, cool. All right, so you guys have that written down? Great. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you guys read through steps 1, 2, 3, we're going to get to 4. And 4 should look like this when you complete those steps, okay? So we're on to 4, okay? When you guys look at 4, you guys should have your bar, right? We write down what we know in the top left corner, okay? Okay. Okay. And then we have 1 under here, because we always do. Okay, and yeah, so we have 1 under there, okay? And then we're looking for what's? We gotta cancel out what? TMs. Okay, cool. So if you guys have that complete, that is all that you have to have set up for 4. Okay, so now we drop down another one. I think it goes to 5.
Yeah.
So 5's gonna ask us to have this set up again. Okay, so we can just start with what we have set. We have 8.23 times 10 to the 0 TMs over 1 TMs here. So what's it asking us to do next? We want to go to meters, right? Okay, so it's asking us for meters. So we're going to put an M up here. And we know that 10 to the 12 is going to be the correct transfer for that over 1. Okay? And it tells us that we can probably cross out the TMs now because we took care of that, right? Right? So then, what's it ask us to do next? We go to 6, right? So on step 6, okay, 8.23 times 10 to the 0 over 1. Then we have our 10 to the 12 meters, okay, over 1. Okay, and then we have, we're going to get rid of our meters. So we got a meter down here, and then we need a GM up here. Okay, and so we have that set up, and let's see, we want to go, do we want to do 1 GM? Equals 10 to the 9 meters. And then when we cross out those M's, we know that all we have left now is the math, and we can end up with the GM. Okay? So then this becomes step number 10. So if you guys want to rewrite this down as 10, I'm going to look at some of your work, and then we'll solve it together real quick.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Why did we go
I guess I should say 9.
TM to meters to give you?
Because we're practicing taking an extra step. The rest of them, we won't have to do that. You could have, but you'd have to do a lot of work with your negative and positive exponents to make sure they're right. And that's where a lot of you guys are messing up right now. Okay. All right, so here we go, you guys. So now we're looking at this again. Let's do our math, okay? So we're going to multiply things out. So whenever we multiply exponents here, we just add them. So we have 0 and 12 gives us 12. 12, okay? And then when we divide by exponents, we just subtract them. So we're going to take this 9, okay, and we're going to bring it up here and just subtract 9. And what does that leave us with? 8.23 times 10 to the what? to the 3. There we go, guys. Okay? Yes.
So, like, how do you know whether to put the 1 on the top or the bottom?
Okay, so I don't want to mess you guys up for life, but let's do it anyways. Okay. You can put the 1 on the top or the bottom. You just have to put the right conversion factor. Okay? So I see people still writing, so I'm not going to mess with this yet, but I'm going to show you what's up here in just a sec. You guys got this all copied? Good. Stop copying because I'm going to jack it up. Here we go. So this time, I can erase this mess. Okay, here we go. If you wanted to put a different thing here, you could put the 1 down here, 1 meter, okay? But what used to be down here?
10 to the 9.
Can I write 10 to the -9 up here?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you guys, a lot of you guys struggle with keeping track of that. Okay, but some people like to set it up to where all their math is up here on top. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, some people like it to where they keep this on top, but everything else is on the bottom. I don't know why they like to do it, it's a personal thing, right? But you have to make sure your math still adds up the same, right? Because it would, right? So if you set it up correctly, you're good. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna get to these ones are a little easier because we don't have to like stop and rewrite parts. We're not doing it for examples, we're just doing our work now. Okay, so this is example 2. All right, so looking at number 2, as I don't have my paper, there it is. Okay, so we have this weird thing up here, okay? And you can do this with picket fences, but it's not recommended. We have 12.0, is that .0 important?
Yes.
Okay, good, because it tells us we measured exactly 12 feet, okay? And then we have times, what was that other one, 14?
Yeah.
0.0 feet equals, we want to know how many yards squared. Okay, so we want to multiply this, and it's done on your worksheet, right? It's done on your worksheet already, so when we multiply these, what is it?
Wait,
168.
168? Okay, is there's a point on there or no?
No.
All right, so 168
Feet squared.
feet squared, okay. All right, cool. So, we're going to write this in now. So we have 168 feet squared. Could I write that different?
1.68 times 10.
Could I write feet?
Sure.
Is that the same as feet squared?
No.
Yeah.
Feet squared means feet times feet. So could I write feet times feet here?
Yes, sir.
I could, right? Okay. All right, so that all goes over 1, right? And so now what we need to do is figure out, we got to get rid of feet. We got to get rid of feet. And that would leave us with, well, let's see, yards. Let's do yards squared. Do we have this set up now to be successful?
Yes.
Yes, so how many yards, if I have 1 yard, how many feet?
3.
If I have 1 yard, how many feet? 8. Okay, now, we have it all set up, now we just have to slash and math. Okay? So, slash, 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 and then we have our yards left, that's great. And now we just do math. So, 168 divided by, where's my divided by button? I'm going to go with this one. Great, divided by, and we're going to go 3. So equals 56. So we can slash 56, okay? Because we slashed that out, okay? And then we can divide that by 3. And we end up with 18.6, a bunch of 6s, right? Okay, so we can take that divided by that, and we end up with 18 point, we can say 7, right? Because that's 3 sig figs. But do we want to report this information this way? Truth is, when you're doing yards and inches, I don't care, that's great. But if we had to write it in scientific notation, how would we write it? 1.87 times 10 to the 10 to 1. Because we're going to make that bigger. If we make this smaller, we have to make this one bigger. Yards squared. Guys cool with that? Both are correct.
Wait,
Okay.
I have a question.
Which one's going to show up on the test? If it asks for standard, do it in standard. If it asks in scientific, do it in scientific.
No, I have a question. So, because that one, that answer,
Go ahead.
that answer was like 18.66666.
18.6666666.
So would the right answer just be to round it, or?
You have to round when we go to significant figures.
All right.
Okay? All right, you guys. You guys ready to do 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you recording this?
Sometimes. Depends which one comes out better. Wait, what's up?
It's better when you
I'm by the other 3. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. So number 3, they're talking about feeding a baby. Okay? So what do we really need to know?
That it gets fed 8 times a day each day.
That's good to know. But what are we trying to find out? What do you got, bro?
How many days will it take?
Okay, we want to know days. Days, and then what are we trying to figure out? How many days for what? 1,000 ounces. Okay? And then so we have other important information. We have, so how many times they eat a day?
8.
So we have 8 feedings equals 1 day. Okay? And then we have, I know, right? No drugs, no babies. That's a lot of work. Okay? All right. And then we have 2.5 ounces, okay, equals 1 what?
Feeding.
1 feeding. Okay? So we have our things, we have our conversion factors, right? So now let's put our things on the picket fence. Okay, so we start out with our known. 1,000 ounces. Okay, now I know a bunch of you guys already converted this to scientific. I don't care if you do, that's cool. But we're going to see if we do this one just regular, just to show you what's up. Okay, and then that's all over 1, right? Okay, and then we need to get rid of ounces. So we could write OZ right here. So how are we going to get rid of ounces? We're going to have, there you go, we're going to have 1 feeding. Okay, so 1 FD equals 2.5 ounces. Okay, now we got to get rid of FD. So we got FD down here with the feeding, and that's going to be 8. And then 1, look at you guys getting ahead. That's good. 1 day. Okay, do we have this set up now to where we can solve?
Yes.
So let's slash. So we got ounces, ounces, feeding, feeding. That leaves us a day. Okay, and then we're going to do 1,000 divided by 2.5. We need a calculator for that. Should be 400, right? Okay. Then divide 400 by 8. It's going to be 50. And the kids are like 50 days. Fine. Okay, 50 days. Cool? You guys good with that? Okay. No drugs, no babies. That's a lot of work. Yes? So I took the 1,000 and divided by 2.5. Okay, and then I did the 400 and divided by 8. Now some of you guys like to combine these before you divide, which is fine, but I have to remind you that this is not 10.5. What mistake did I make if I put these two together and get 10.5? Annie, what are you supposed to do? You have to multiply these two together and then divide it. I just like to keep it in its boxes. I slash 1 and I correct it. Slash 1 and I correct it. Okay? All right, you guys, here we go again. Oh, just kidding. Cool. All right, what are we on? 4? 4, okay. All right, so what do we got for 4?
Convert speed of 1.0 times 10 to the second. Meters per second.
Okay, so we got meters per second. Meters per, or sorry, is it miles per second or meters?
I think it's meters.
Meters per second, and we're trying to find out what? So, kms per hour. Okay, and so how many do we start with? 1.0 times 10 to the second. Okay, cool. All right, so first thing we did, identify our problem. We identified our problem. Now we're gonna put it on our guy here. So this is one that people make mistakes with. Okay, let's just put our letters where they go, designators, okay? We have a meter here, and we have a second right here. Did I just blow up anybody's world yet?
No.
Okay, so check it out. This is the same as writing meters over seconds, or you could write meters over 1 second there, so we're going to put a 1 here. What's in front of meters? We're going to put 1.0 times 10 to the 2. Okay? All right, so we got to get rid of 2 different things now. We're going to have to get rid of the length. We're going to convert it to another length. And then we have to get the time converted to another time. Okay? So let's try length first. Cool? So we're going to do meters down here. And we're going to do kilometers up here. Okay, so we have, let's make it easy. Let's do 1 meter. So it's going to be what? 10 to the what? -3. Why? Oh, sorry, do I do a 1 there? Because with 1 on the bottom, this has to be a very small kilometer to equal, a very small part of a kilometer to equal 1 meter,
so
right?
if you reversed it, it would be 10 to the 3rd on the bottom and 1 kilometer on the top.
Yeah, but yeah. So we gotta be careful when we do that. Okay, so let's get rid of seconds and hours here. Okay, so let's do 1 hour. Okay, so how many seconds? Some of you guys did it already. You said 60. Wrong. 60 times 60, right?
3,600.
3,600, right? But we're gonna write 3.6 times 10 to the what?
3.
3. Sorry. My little pen guy stays in front of when I write sometimes. Okay, so now do you guys feel like we set this up correctly? So we can slash in math, okay? So let's slash our meters. Okay, let's slash our seconds. Now we're left with kilometers per hour. Right? That's what we wanted, was kilometers per hour. Now we just gotta math it, right? Okay, so 1 times,
Well, that would be -1. Well, like 1.0.
sorry, we should write this correctly, right?
Yeah.
Did that make it better? Sorry, guys. Yeah, right? That would have been a big mistake, right? We would have been off a whole 10 space, right? A 10th, right? Okay, so we have 1 times 1 times 3.6 gives us 3.6. And now we can do the exponents. We have, let's do these 2 together. So -3 and +3 is
-6.
0. And then so 0 plus 2 is 2. So we can say times 10 to the 2nd. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Maybe. Okay,
Wait a minute.
wait a minute.
How is 2 minus 3 0?
So 2 minus 3 is -1. Plus 3 is 2. I like things that match. Sorry.
Kristen Koski, please come to the office now. Kristen Koski, come to the office, please.
So just to clarify, we have 3.6 times 10 to the 2 kilometers per hour. Happy? It's not too crazy, right? Okay. All right, cool. Next. Five. All right, let's set up 5. Okay, so we're looking for miles per hour, but what do we want to know? Okay, so we have MI over hour equals how many meters per second. So what do we got? 17. Okay, you guys, should we put that to, should we just leave that way because it's miles per hour?
Nope.
I'm going to leave it that way because it's miles per hour. Okay? Because miles aren't a base 10 thing, so I'm not going to throw it into whatever's. I'm just going to just leave it how it is. Okay? All right? But I think we might have to mess with the other stuff that way, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so what's our known?
17,000 miles. Wait, 1.7.
Well, like I said, I'm going to leave it this way just because we don't usually mess with miles and base 10s. We'll just leave it this way for now and we can fix it later. And you'll see what's up.
I think it's
Okay?
like 1.70000.
All right, so we have miles per hour. Okay? We need to go to kilometers per mile, right? So let's go km up here, right? And we can get rid of mi down here. That's your miles, right? Okay. What else do we have to change to? Hours and seconds, right? So we got hours up here and seconds right here. Okay, and eventually we'll end up with meters per second.
We need to convert kilometers to meters.
We do. We have to convert kilometers to meters, right? So let's see here. Do we want to move these guys over?
Yeah.
Let's move these guys over. I'm just gonna do a real quick erase here. Okay. And so what are we really doing? We want meters. So let's put kilometers down here. And let's put meters up here. Okay, and then we're gonna do our hour here and our second here. All right, now do we have it set up for what we want?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna end up with meters per second.
Brandy Dorrance, come to the office,
Okay.
please. Brandy Dorrance.
All right, so now let's start looking at this. Do you guys know how many kilometers equal a mile?
1.609.
1.609 equal 1 mile. Okay? Do you guys know how many meters equal a kilometer?
3,000?
So here's the deal. It's 10 to the what? Is it a negative 3?
No, that's 10 to the.
No, it's 10 to the 3. You're right. 10 to the 3. Okay, good. Okay, then what? 1 hour equals how many seconds?
3,600.
36. 3.6 times what? Because we figured it out last time. 10 to the what? 3. Okay. Are we cool with this? Do you think we're all set up right, guys?
What if,
Fill it out. I think you're good. I think we're set, right? Okay. Cool. All right, here we go, you guys. Let's get rid of hours and hours. Let's get rid of miles and miles. Let's get rid of kilometers and kilometers. Now we're left with all our mess, right? Okay, so we got to do some math on this, though, right? All right, so let's see what we got. Do you guys want to do it one at a time, or do you guys want to do it all together?
One at a time.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is let's take care of this guy. Okay, so this guy down here, we got 3.16. Okay, we're gonna have to divide 1,700 by 3.16. Okay, so we're gonna do 17000 divided by 3.6 equals. Okay, so we have 4722.2. Okay, just because I'm not sure how many of these decimals will be important in a minute. So we took care of this, but do we still have the exponent?
yes.
Yes, so we're gonna go times 10. Now we brought it up, so what do we have to do? Flip the sign, right?
Yeah. So
Okay. Now did we take care of this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So now, all we have to do is go across the top right here, right? So cool thing is, let's take care of this. See this mess right here? Because this is actually 1.0 times. That guy and that guy, do they cancel out? Cool. Slash. Slash, so that makes it to the 0, right? When it's to the 0, do we even need it anymore? Nope. So we can just be like, great, we're done here. So now we have 2 things left to multiply. Well, 3 actually. We have this guy, and then 1 and 1. Okay? So let's do this number times 1.609 equals. All right, so now we have 7598.05. Okay, maybe 0.6 if we round it. But how many sig figs did we have before? 2. We only had 2 sig figs. So we need our answer to be in the correct sig figs. So we round that up. So it's 76. But the weird thing is, because we're writing at 76 what? Times 10. to the 3. 7.6 times 10 to the 3 meters per second. Woo.
That's crazy.
There's a lot going on there, right?
I have a question.
What's the question?
So when we got the 3.6 times 10 to the whatever, 3 I believe, and we divided, we took 3.6 and divided it by 17,000, and then we made it into a whatever it's called, scientific notation. Why didn't we carry the decimal and added those points?
With all this mess, we could have done that again and just done, but like when we started, do you remember I said, let's just try this without putting this in? If you would have put this in originally, we would have just been taken care of ///. But I wanted to show you guys what it's like when you don't. Okay, if we would have started by putting this into 1.7 times 10 to the what? Fourth, it would have simplified our math along the way, wouldn't it?
Wait, so you made us take the hard way?
I did, because everyone keeps saying, how come we have to put it in scientific notation? How come we have to put it in scientific notation? It's because it saves you a ton of math.
So if we're doing the scientific, if we did the scientific notation way,
It's usually easier math.
yeah, I know, okay. But for the meters to miles to kilometers,
We could have done that again here, and we could have done that again here. We could have put this in scientific notation and avoided this step.
oh, so it would just be like 1.6.
Yeah, if you guys, if we would have done this in scientific notation for meters, we would have avoided a whole step. But I want you guys to see how we work through this. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do our last one, and the way we're gonna do it is you guys do it, and I don't. So you guys do it. Go.
What's a cubic? Wait. How many cubic centimeters? Wait, when they say cubic, what do they mean by that? Just rewrite it.
Cool.
Told you.
That's right. How do we fill up?
So check it out. Here's what I need you guys to do. Tonight, get all of your old math stuff taken care of by midnight. Okay, get all your old math stuff figured out. Once you have passing scores or understanding on all of those ones, then I want you to attempt the multi-step dimensional analysis. That's on Moodle right now. That's due Sunday by midnight. Okay?
You said Sunday by midnight?
Sunday by midnight.